Okay, this is a uniform work problem. And what do you mean by that? There's these taps can fill something. And the first guy, I want to point out, kind of weird, but they talk about this thing in hours and minutes. And that's true. I mean, it's something, not nice numbers, but 3 hours, 10 minutes. The second takes 4 hours and 45 minutes. And the third takes 3 hours and 48 minutes. All right? So I'm going to write them as mixed numbers, by the way. For example, 3 and, well, 10 is 1/6 of an hour, right? And this would be in hours. I know that much. So it's going to be 19 over 6 hours. All right, now someone says, why are you using an improper fraction? It's easier, right? Now, of course, I want to talk about the rate of this first tap. It's going to be 6 fills every 19 hours, right? So the rate of this first guy is 6 fills every 19 hours, all right? Let's talk about the next guy. And the next guy is 4 hours. I'm done with this. The next guy, and this is a rate over here. This is the rate of the first tap, by the way. 6 fills every 19 hours. So 4 hours and 45 minutes would be 3/4 of an hour. And again, that's a mixed number. I'm going to go in proper fraction. That's 19/4. So the second guy, he can, I said it's a tap, so it can do 4 fills every 19 hours. All right? I'm done with this. Now, they got to a third guy, all right? Now, these are rates, by the way. The third guy, well, it's much more difficult, isn't it? So it's 3 hours and 48. So it's 3 and 48 out of 60, and that's the number of hours. I got to reduce that 48 over 60. It looked kind of weird. So it's 3, and let's say it goes in 12, right? So that's 4/5. And the mixed number there is 15 19/5. So what does it mean? 5 fills every 19 hours. Excuse me. So at least I know the rates now. All right? So we'll talk about this. I'm going to kind of erase this business over here. So like the first tap, he can fill 6 tanks every 19 hours. The second tap can fill 4 tanks in 19 hours, and the third can fill 5 tanks in 19 hours. I want to read that again to you, though. So the tank has 3 taps. The first can be filled in 3 hours, 10 minutes. The second can be filled. You know what? The third is not a fill. It's an empty. It's destructive work. So this guy over here, it's actually negative work. He's doing something against filling it. All right, filling it. It's definitely a negative rate. Removing. Now he says, how many hours will it take to fill if all 3 taps are open? Well, I don't know. So I'll put T down here. That's how much this guy can do. This guy can also do this in T hours. And this guy's destructive work can do this in T hours. And what do they want to do? Fill the tank. So what do I have now? I have a pretty simple equation. All right? Let me get my eraser out, kind of highlight this. I'm glad I reread it. 2 are filling, 1 is emptying. 2 are positive work, 1 is negative work. All right? So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to solve that equation for T. How do you do that? Multiply both sides by the LCD. So you can get 6T. I'm multiplying by 19, by the way. Plus 4T. Minus 5T equals 19. Multiplying both sides by 19. What do you get over here? Well, let's take a look at it. That's 10 minus 5, which is 5T, equals 19. T would be 19 over 5, and this is hours. There's nothing wrong with that answer. But in the English language, we don't like to use mixed numbers, so I would say this is 3, right? Because 5 goes into 19 3 times, with the remainder of 4, 4/5 of an hour. This is a fine answer. This is a fine answer. I want to point out, you probably could also write it down in hours and minutes, because they did speak that way to us. So maybe I should speak that way to them as well. So let me write this down for you. So it's going to be 3 hours. And let me write this down for you. 4/5 times 60. 5 goes into 60 12 times. 4 times 12 is 48. So it's going to be 3 hours, 48 minutes. Acceptable answer as well. Any answer you have written down here, as far as I'm concerned, is a good answer. All right? Thank you.